Graham Howe has carried out research into leisure activities in the UK. He has found out how we spend our free time. Welcome to the studio, Graham.
It's good to be here.
So, which hobbies are most popular in the UK?
Well, the British have a lot of different hobbies. As you may know, a lot of people have small gardens in the UK, so they spend a lot of time at the weekend cutting the grass or looking after their flowers. And although the British aren't famous for their food, they like cooking. They spend a lot of time watching cooking programs and they buy a lot of cookbooks.
So, are these the most popular hobbies?
Well, they are two of the most popular hobbies along with DIY.
DIY?
Yes, do it yourself. The British love painting and decorating their houses, making furniture, that sort of thing. It's very popular. Of course, although the British are interested in sports and hobbies, they only spend 20% of their free time doing them. In comparison, they spend 40% of their free time watching TV and about 25% of their time socializing. You know, inviting friends round for dinner, eating out, or going out to the cinema or to clubs.
Oh, okay. I'm disappointed. So, sitting in front of the television is what we spend most of our time doing?
Well, yes, I'm afraid so. But the British do a lot of sport too, especially football and rugby. Football is the biggest spectator sport. More people watch football than any other sport. But in terms of active participation, actually doing the sport, going hiking and going fishing are major activities. In fact, people prefer going fishing to doing any other sport.
Really? That's surprising. Anyway, after the break, I'm going to ask.
I've heard you've taken up a new hobby.
Well, yes, but it's not really a hobby. You know how I've always been interested in music? I go to a lot of gigs and I buy all the latest albums.
Yes, I know. Don't tell me. You've joined a band. You're going on a world tour.
No, nothing like that. Sadly, I hoped to be a rock star when I was young, but not anymore. I'm too old for that, I'm afraid.
OK. You've decided to learn to play the drums then?
No, of course not.
The guitar? You're having guitar lessons.
Well, you're getting closer. It is about the guitar, but I'm not learning to play it. I'm doing an evening class that teaches you how to make guitars. You know, traditional wooden Spanish guitars.
Wow! Really?
Yes, it's really enjoyable. It isn't easy, of course. You have to learn how to cut the wood and put the different parts of the instrument together. But it's very interesting, and I feel that I'm learning to do something very traditional.
Well, that's great. It sounds much more difficult than what I'm doing. I've started going to a salsa dancing class. It's fun, but I'm completely hopeless. 2 left feet.
I'm bored. Let's go out. What's on, Andy?
Hang on a minute, I'm just having a look at the website. OK, I think there's a good film on at the Odeon. Yes, Dangerous Killers. It's on at 8.
Oh no, Andy. You know I prefer comedies to action films, and I can't stand violent films. I don't really want to go to the cinema anyway. Is there anything else on in the city?
Well, I'd really like to see the Boston Orchestra play at the Central Concert Hall, but they sold all the tickets a long time ago. It was really expensive anyway. How about a play and then a meal?
That sounds great.
Well, I'll just see if I can book tickets for the play first. It's called Behind the Door. It's a new play. It's set in Scotland in the 1960s. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine. Who's in it? Anyone I know?
Well, no, not really. Thomas Crewe and Alice Strong. I've never heard of them.
Me neither. Well, that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Right, there we go. I've booked 2 tickets. They're near the front, in the middle. And it starts at 8 and finishes at 10:30. Is that okay?
Yes, that's great. There's that nice cafe opposite the theatre. We can grab some food there before the show.
Oh yes, I know the one you mean. Good idea. Right. I think I'll go and put my new shirt on. 1. A.
My favourite Spanish author is Ildefonso Falcones.
B.
My favourite Spanish author is Ildefonso Falcones.
2. A.
I love Carlos Iglesias's films.
B.
I love Carlos Iglesias's films.
3. A.
I don't like going to the theatre.
B.
I don't like going to the theatre.
4. A.
My sister likes rock music.
B.
My sister likes rock music.
A.
Before I go to bed, I always read my book and have a cup of tea.
B.
Before I go to bed, I always read my book and have a cup of tea.
Something to read, something to watch, and something to listen to. It's that time of the year when we all want to close our front doors, turn up the heating, and sit down with an imaginative and gripping book, an original and entertaining film, or a cool and relaxing album. So here are our first 3 recommendations for how you could spend those long, dark evenings. A. If you prefer listening to music that sounds like you're watching a band in a stadium, then this week's recommendation isn't for you. The Insiders have returned to the studio to produce their latest recording, and their new collection is quiet, soothing, and thoughtful. In fact, it's something to play when you're lying in the bath or on the sofa after a long, hard day. It's a surprising change from the band's earlier work. B. After spending a wet weekend in bed with the Outsiders, I can tell you that it is an interesting and original piece of fiction. The story is set in a small town in the United States, and it's about a group of young people with a lot of free time, but no real opportunities in life. They usually spend their time hanging out at Ruthie's, an inexpensive restaurant with a friendly manager. The characters are realistic and credible, and the plot is easy to follow, but really exciting. To be honest, I usually prefer science fiction or fantasy stories, but I love The Outsiders because it is such a thrilling and believable story. C. One of last summer's unexpected hits was The Upside, a hilarious and enjoyable comedy which made Tom Clark into a star. I expect that everybody has seen it by now and read the book that it is based on. But if not, then now's the time, because it's so funny that you won't stop laughing. From tomorrow, it's available to buy or rent for viewing at home, and the box set comes with lots of extras, including an interview with Tom Clark.
Hi, Philip. Another long week is over. Time to relax. How do you like to spend your weekends?
I always head out of town at the weekend. You know, I enjoy going into the countryside to do some outdoor activities. I prefer hiking or fishing to going to the gym or bowling or anything indoors. For me, it's important to get some fresh air, to feel the wind and the rain on your face, and to get some exercise too, of course. How about you, Jenny?
Oh, I think so too. I love hiking and being outdoors. I don't go fishing, though. It's too boring for me, sitting and waiting for the fish to bite. I prefer being active. I'm really good at bowling, though. I play in a team on Saturday nights. Tim, what about you? Do you like bowling?
I went bowling once, some time ago, and I quite enjoyed it. Perhaps I could come along one night and watch. I like to go fishing on Saturdays, though. I find it really relaxing. Lots of peace and quiet. I prefer fishing to hiking. I never go hiking. I'm not very fit, and I get tired after about half an hour's walking.
Well, hiking is a great way to get fit. You have to start walking short distances first, though.
Boys. Waste. Time. High. Employ. Play. Guy. Annoy. Late. Train. Lie.
1. A.
Day. Great. Wait. Late.
2. I.
Life. Crime. Buy. Try.
3. Oi.
Join. Enjoy. Coin. Destroy.
How Americans spend their leisure time.
A.
Life seems busier than ever before to most Americans, but statistics show that the average American actually has over 40 minutes a day more leisure time than he had 40 years ago. Nowadays, we all have dishwashers and washing machines, ready-made meals and access to online shopping. So all those hours that our grandparents used to spend on household chores are now free. People's jobs have changed, and working long hours in factories isn't something that most of us have to do anymore. Instead, we work shorter, more flexible hours in offices.
B.
It's great to have lots of free time and fewer jobs about the house. Who wants to do the chores? The problem, however, is that people don't always use their leisure time very well. Many Americans prefer watching TV to going outdoors and doing something new. On average, Americans spend 2.5 hours a day in front of the TV. That's almost half the leisure time they have. It isn't a crime to watch TV, but it is a waste of time when there are so many other things to do.
C.
Nowadays, Americans don't want to join organized sports clubs or commit themselves to new leisure activities. That's because they don't want to agree to do something for a long time. In the past, everybody had free time at the same time, the weekend. Consequently, they were happy to join a bowling league and play every Saturday evening, or buy a season ticket for their favorite baseball team. But today, the time when Americans are free is unpredictable. People go away for the weekend more often, or decide to work on Saturday and not Monday. On the positive side, statistics show that there is a growing number of leisure activities which have become common now. About 7 million Americans have become members of a book club, for example. However, it is a shame that although typical Americans enjoy having more free time, they seem less sure about what to do with it.